Say what's that word again? You said a synonym?
Yes, it said to diminish.
To diminish. Okay. So a synonym for the word minimize is to diminish. To diminish. Okay. Well, I'm on Facebook Live, and those of you that are getting on, y'all can get on. I'm only going to be on for a little bit. Those of you that are on the teleconference line, the next 10 minutes, I'll be on live as well. And then we'll come back on and do our prayer requests like we do on a regular basis. Okay. So, hey, Facebook Live, I'm going to wait for some people to get on, but I am outside in the cold. And I am outside in the night air. And even though it is cold, it is nice and still. And it's awfully pretty out here to me. My hands are cold, but it's still good to look at the dark sky and look at the stars and to see how the trees are still in the kind of a shadow of the darkness of the sky. And I don't know if some of you all can see the sky behind me. But yeah, that's a light from the light post, but not sure if y'all can see it as pretty as I see it. But anyway, we're dealing with a word. We're on our teleconference line, and we're dealing with a word on tonight. God has given me some words for the new year. And funny thing is I wanted to come up with some really good words, some really good words. And God said, well, we're going to go with some seemingly negative words, But God said, every word that I've created is a good word. It's a good word. You know, we in our humanness, we have decided that certain words are bad words or words that mean something negative or derogatory. And so the word is minimize. Minimize. If I can give you all a New Year's resolution word for Facebook, and to those of you that are on the teleconference line with me, the New Year's resolution word for today, this Tuesday, this January 2nd, we got $363 left, y'all. $363 left. You done used up $2 already, and you only got $363 left. Spend every day wisely. And in every day, you've got to learn when you get up. We talked about making that schedule. We talked about all those things that we talked about last night. But this is what I want you to do. New Year's resolution word, learn to minimize. You're going to have to start learning to minimize. And we have some definitions. Those of you that are with me on Facebook, you can go ahead and pull up some definitions. Michelle, go ahead and start typing in some of the synonym words that we have. A synonym word for the word minimize is also to diminish. To diminish, to reduce down in size, to reduce down in size. To minimize is to bring something down to its smallest, to the lowest of degrees, to minimize the fire, to minimize the volume, to minimize the crowd. Whatever it is means to bring it down to its lowest number, to bring it down to its lowest degrees. But when you look up the word minimize, as we've already had on the line, the word minimize also means to bring and to reduce those things down that are what? Unpleasant. Those things that are that have influence, that have value. And what was the other word? Somebody that's on the prayer clinic line, help me. I told y'all 3 words. They have value, they have influence and importance, right? In the word importance. So if I had to put it all together, to diminish, to bring down to its lowest point or to its lowest amount, those things that have influence over us, right? Those bad habits, those things that we do, those people that we hang around that have influence over us. Not only influence, but those things that have importance to us. Sometimes there's things that we deem important, and God is saying that's not important this year. Those things are not important this year. Those things I don't want you to spend so much time focusing on this year. and things that have value or we thought had value. Watching certain shows on TV, we think that has value. God said that has no value. Spending time with certain people that we thought that had value. God said that has no value. I'm going to need you to minimize. I'm going to need you to minimize those things that we call distractions. We got to minimize those things that disturb our spirits, our hearts, our minds. People that get around us and then we find ourselves angry, upset, depressed. People that are constantly talking negative around us. Never have anything good to say, nothing positive to say. Always talking about somebody or something in a demeaning way or in a demeaning manner. And so we got to learn to minimize those things that are not going to be good for us in 2018. So some of the things, I want some of you that are on Facebook Live with me. I see many of you all. I'm so glad that y'all are on. But I want y'all to start writing down some words. And those of you that are on a teleconference line, I want y'all to start telling me some words of things that many of us, not just you, but it could be you, but that some of us need to start minimizing. And I'm going to start rattling off a few while I wait on you guys. But we got to start minimizing our bad eating habits. We got to start watching the things that we put in this temple, in this body that God has given us. It is a gift. It was a perfect gift that God gave us, and many of us are destroying it. Many of us are killing it. Many of us are devaluing it. You don't love yourself enough to diminish eating the wrong things that cause what? High blood pressure. Cause what? Diabetes. Causes what? Bad moods, mood swings. Did you not know that the foods that you eat cause bad moods and mood swings while you're up and down and discouraged and despondent and in despair? A lot of times could be directly related to the things that you eat. Cancers are directly related to the things that we eat. What else? Anybody else? Minimize what I said. Okay, a good one. I hear somebody. Minimize spending. I'm tapping on a few of these things real quick for some of us, but some of you all have bad spending habits in 2017. And you just got to come to the realization that you had bad spending habits, that you did not save like you should have in 2017, that money came in your life and now you have nothing to show for it in the year of 2018. So guess what? You've got to minimize your spending. Those things that you thought had value, everything that has value to you, you don't need to buy. Everything that you think you need is not necessary. Another pair of shoes, another coat, another dress, whatever it is. But we got to minimize spending. Good job. Anybody else? I saw Michelle put up minimize doubt. Yes, that is a good one. We've got to minimize our doubts and our fears, our reservations on this year. If you're going to reach those levels of success, you've got to dare to be different. You've got to dare to make a move. You've got to be brave and courageous to do something that you never done, to get something that you never had, to move into places and realms that you've never been. For some of us, we've got to come out of our comfort zone. We've got to minimize that spirit of fear. God has not given you the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. And so we need to minimize fear, minimize doubt. Don't doubt God. Believe that God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that you could ever ask or think. If you put in the time, if you put in the energy, if you put in the work, if you put in the prayers, if you put in, I'm trying to save your money, you give God 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, you give God something to work with, and I promise you, he will perform a miracle in your life. So we're going to minimize doubt. We're going to minimize fear. Anybody else on the prayer clinic line? Anything that we can think to minimize that we want to share before I close out on tonight? What did you say? Somebody said doubt. We already said doubt. Anybody else? Okay, well, I'm going to move forward. If nobody on the prayer clinic line has anything that they want to add, we want to minimize negative influences. We want to minimize negative influences. That could be through music. That could be through television. That could be through company that we keep. We got to minimize wasting our time. Minimize time wasters. And you got to start identifying what are time wasters in your life. For some of us, it's scrolling on Facebook all day and all night. And I know I'm on Facebook Live, but I'm going to tell you, some of y'all need to come up off of here for a little while and get something done. Be productive. Do something and realize we're going to be back on Facebook. You can see this video later. You know, some things you just got to say, I got to minimize the time that I'm spending doing things that are time wasters. Time wasters. What is wasting my time? I'm telling you, time is money. You've already spent $2, the first and the second. By tomorrow, we'll be spending dollar number 3. We got $363 left. Anybody else? Anybody else on minimize? What else can we minimize? God wants us to minimize. Minimize the distractions in your life. Minimize distractions. If you cannot stay focused, you got to start taking inventory of the things that break your focus. What causes broken focus? What causes broken focus in your life? For all of us, is something different. It could be a person. It could be a job. It could be whatever it is. What is it that you have? You got to minimize your bad habits. Bad habits. Minimize them. I don't know about many of you, but you got to be honest with yourself on this year and start taking inventory of the bad habits that you have. If it's gossiping, minimize your gossiping. You hear yourself talking about somebody, immediately say, okay, I can't finish this conversation anymore. I decided this year I'm going to minimize my gossiping. If you